Hey everybody, welcome back to Stop.Sit.Surrogate Friday Facts with Kennedy and Ellen, and we have two guests joining us. We'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Rachel, and I am a two-time surrogate. Well, I'm on my second journey.
So my name is Alicia, and I ended my first journey in the spring, and I'm hoping to start a second journey this fall. And so I've done 4 transfers, but I didn't have a live birth. So my experience is a little different.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's a lot of heartache for everybody.
I've had a lot of meds though, so I'm like well prepared for today.
I'm sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That part is going to be very interesting, but I'm really sorry to hear that that's how your journey has gone so far. That's hard. But okay, then let's dive into meds. So let's just do the basics then, right? There are shots, suppositories, pills, and then if you're lucky like Rachel, you don't have to do meds or do
Patches. There's also patches.
patches.
That's it? You just have to do a patch?
I did a patch, suppository, and just the Lupron in the belly.
Okay. Wow, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
So wait, what was your patch? Was it estrogen?
Estradiol, I think.
Yeah,
I
so that's
believe.
estrogen.
I'm pretty sure. I think, yeah. So it wasn't too bad, but the sticky stuff, man, that stuff get on your stomach and
Oh, the patch. Okay, got you. And it's on your belly, or it's not on your arm? It's on your belly?
no, yeah, it's all on your belly. So
Gotcha.
That's
it was a bit.
It's a bit different.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I was like, I'm gonna have to do a big old shot. And then I never got it. And I was just like, did they miss something or something?
No.
Huh. Very interesting.
And you got pregnant with twins, right? Wow, great. Whew.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, so Alicia, what were your meds like then? Like, did you have shots?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I begged for shots.
Oh,
It was funny. I just listened to one of your other episodes where you said you were also begging for anything but suppositories.
yes.
Yeah. So I had injections and I had suppositories, but with estrogen.
Okay.
I didn't want progesterone because it's really messy.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind the estrogen. And I also had oral pills.
Okay.
Oral pills.
Was it the same for you for all 4? The same protocol for all 4 transfers?
No, it was almost the same. It was almost the same for my first 3. So my first transfer was successful, but I had a miscarriage. And so the doctor figured that the protocol clearly worked for my body.
Okay.
So I just had a minor adjustment. I needed extra estrogen.
Okay.
And then that one failed. And then we did the same protocol for the 3rd. And then when that failed, I did a natural cycle. And so for that one, I only had shots. I had progesterone and nothing else. And it was beautiful. I loved it.
Wow. Nice.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I've only ever done suppositories and shots. Now I like people were sending in like, oh, I didn't have to do birth control, or oh, I did have to do birth control. I never had to do birth control, but I also wasn't with anybody, so I don't know if that plays into it. I know that sometimes they want you to be on birth control to like help with your cycle, especially if you're out of state, so that way like it's more scheduled. But yeah,
you didn't take any oral pills? I thought you did.
No, I just took like the supplements. Like they were like, oh, you're low on vitamin whatever type thing.
I thought there was an antibiotic there for a little bit prior to transfer.
No, I had baby aspirin.
Baby aspirin, okay.
Oh yeah, I had the baby aspirin too.
Yeah, which I don't ever understand what that's for, but they always want that around transfer.
Thins your blood.
And they want that.
Yes.
I think it can help prevent blood clots.
Yes.
Correct.
And I think I've heard it can also help prevent like hematomas.
Right, which is
Okay. Oh,
a
right.
huge
For the
bubble, right, of
yeah.
blood. Yes, correct.
Very okay.
But
Okay.
So my clinic typically gives people birth control, and it's just to help regulate cycles. Like my husband's had a vasectomy, so I didn't even have restrictions as far as that goes.
okay, very nice.
And so, yeah, they just told me that if I'm not taking birth control, I have to be prepared to go in when day one comes, regardless of if it comes when I think it will or not.
Right.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah. So it kind of gives it more of like a timeline if you're on birth control. Helps with scheduling.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why they give it.
Yeah.
at my
Okay.
clinic, so.
Yeah. And then when it comes to like, I can't remember how long I did shots for, but I do remember because each clinic has their own protocol for transfers as well. So like, I know that one time I did shots before transfer and it was like 3 weeks. I think the longest I've ever done shots before a transfer was like 5 weeks, maybe 6. But I do know that like that can vary. You can have shots prior to transfer for 3 to 7 weeks, which just sounds like a lot because then you still have to do it until I think until you graduate, maybe like you're 10 weeks pregnant or 11 weeks, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But then they reduce shots is what I remember. It goes from 2 to 1 for the progesterone and so but you're still giving them. You're still doing it for at least 10 weeks after, at least.
I had to stop cold turkey.
I was gonna ask, that was my next question. Did you guys stop cold turkey or did you guys wean?
I think I stopped like cold turkey,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean,
I know.
with twins, it was, my numbers were high, but I know they say numbers don't really matter.
Yeah.
But I swear those babies like took to me like leeches or
fly
something.
paper. Yep. Wow.
Yeah. It was like, because I was getting like semi-positives on like, I know you ain't supposed to test this early, but like day 3.
Wow.
So
wow.
Yeah. So I was just like, I did my job. It was all good. But I'm just like, I'm kind of glad I only did the 1 shot because I'm like, watching some of y'all do your shots. I'm like,
what? Yeah.
I don't know if I trust my husband to give me my shot. I'm myself.
Well, you
So
might
you
have
did all
to
of
this
them?
next journey.
We'll see. But I cannot do suppository. I don't want to. It was because I had to go to the ER one time because I was bleeding, and then them checking me and like pulling that out of me was like so embarrassing. So yeah. I was just like, I'm like, that's the progesterone that I have to stick up there just so so
I'm like, I have a question because I've never taken suppositories.
Okay.
Well, not for like progesterone.
Yeah.
But like I've heard it's messy and it's kind of unpleasant.
Yeah. So
Like,
I mean, I don't care. I can get descriptive in a sense. Like for me and for other people that I've talked to, in like maybe I'm describing it a little wrong, but it's like really thick white gunk.
Okay.
Like
it's kind of like a melted marshmallow.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because you're doing it day after day after day,
Like
it just accumulates
all the time because you don't have time to flush it out. Like it's
the
just
idea is for you to try and absorb it.
But it becomes too much to absorb. So really at that point, just go to like the dollar store and buy some crummy underwear because like otherwise your underwear, you're throwing that in the trash. Like you could wear as many pads as you want, but that's not gonna save them. It's not gonna save them. But I will say that somebody did comment today and said that so to them suppositories weren't that big of a deal. They would rather do a suppository than do an injection. And so I think it's just really like
matter of
your preference. Like if you don't want to deal with the whole shot thing, because who likes shots, but then just what's your lesser evil?
Yeah.
And decades ago, we didn't get to decide. Like you did exactly what they said, and that was it. Like it was suppositories, it was shots, it was oral meds, it was antibiotics, it was baby aspirin, it was you just.
Did you do all those back then?
All of them.
You did
All of them every time.
Did you ever do a patch like Rachel did, or is that
No?
That's
Never. I've never done a patch. Mm-mm. Always suppositories. Always both injections, estrogen or progesterone, and then all the oral meds. Like, and it didn't really matter what clinic you went to because back then they all just kind of followed the same protocol. Didn't matter. But it's interesting.
Nowadays it's like own thing.
You guys are like saying, "Oh no, I don't want to do a suppository." Okay, then we'll have you do this or we'll have you do that. And I'm thinking, God, that's kind of nice. That's really kind of nice.
Yeah.
I will say, because like with this last journey that I was supposed to do, when I went from a medical screening and they had said, "Oh, you're gonna do suppositories," and I said, "Yeah, no, skip that. I don't want that. So give me something else." They're like, "Okay, well, you're gonna have to take shots for like an extra 6 weeks." And I was like, "Sign me up." Like, if that's what that is, then that's what that is. I didn't care at that point. I don't know if a lot of clinics will do that, but that clinic was willing to be like, "You just have to take more progesterone shots." And I was like, "Fine." That's fine.
I would take the suppository. Sorry.
Yeah. So okay, so when it comes to shots though, like the actual protocol of it, because if I remember correctly, for estrogen and progesterone, they come in like these cute little tiny bottles.
Vials.
And they have like the little silicone thing on the top. It'd be great if I had one. I probably still have all my needles somewhere because I never know where to get rid of them.
I have them.
It's crazy. You pile up so many, and it's like, where do you want me to put these? I can't put them in the trash. Like,
and I didn't even get a sharps container.
Wow.
Wait, you didn't? Oh, well, you only had Lupron, huh?
But I still have the needle.
Yeah, you should still get one. That's crazy.
Walmart sells them for $3. You can buy them there.
Also, imagine you have Lupron and estrogen and progesterone, and they give you this tiny sharps container. That'll last me like a week. Like I
still have all of my sharps containers, but like I just walk to the pharmacy and just ask, like they just hand it to you.
Okay,
that's nice.
But I still
thank you for that. So now I know, because I was like hella lost, and I was like, "They give me no sharps container." Right. Okay. Over here improvising. Like,
a milk jug works. A plastic milk jug.
We use plastic
I have
bottles camping.
There you go.
Did the trick.
That works. Yeah.
Smart.
I have them in a water bottle jug thingy.
They're
still up in my closet. Been like 2 years now.
Oh my gosh. I know. It's so funny. I swear, if you ask any surrogate, they're always like, "Yeah, I got some needles around here." Or like, they're all, because there's just so many, and it's like you either forget or you have too many, and it's like, where do I take them now? And so
you want a clean one, you want a dirty one, I got everything.
Right.
And then you're like, I want to save them and put them in a little, little mirror thing and the little safe. Do that. I'm like,
yeah. Oh my gosh. But so I forget which one is the bigger one, but I do know that you pull up with the needle, like you pull up with one size needle, and then you'll switch them.
You actually put the same amount of air in the bottle, and then you extract the medication. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not everybody does that. That's because they just keep drawing it up and pushing it back and drawing it up and pushing it back. But technically, if it's 10 cc's, you put 10 cc's of air in the bottle, and then you withdraw what you need. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. So is that like a tip trick?
Is that like no air bubbles?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So you put in what you're going to take out, and it's just air. It's just normal. So you pull back the syringe with the air, and then you put that air in, and then you take out your medication. It just comes out smoother and less air bubbles. Right.
Okay. Yeah. But then you also switch the needle. Like after you've extracted it, then you pull back a little bit more, so that way it doesn't bubble out, and then you put on whatever needle you need to stab yourself with.
Right.
Yeah. And you have to be careful. I think the progesterone one is like the one with the really thick one, and like you have to be really careful because the thick one is meant to pull it out, not go into your body.
It's still a thick needle putting it into your body too,
I
because it's a
know,
thick
but
medication. Yeah,
I
it's
know,
still
but
thick.
the thing
So-
to
I
pull that.
use the thick the 18 gauge, like the one you're supposed to use to pull out.
Yes.
Once.
Oh.
Oh, there was blood.
Oh
bet.
my
I
god.
It
bet.
isn't as bad as you would think, but it wasn't fun.
Sounds bad.
Yeah.
It's a mistake you make once.
So
Yes,
who?
it
So do you
is.
guys give yourself your own shots, or do you have people do it for you?
So I've only ever done one of my shots. My husband did all of them. The
Nice.
one shot that I did, I actually have it on my Instagram account. I took
Ah,
a video,
That's
and
funny.
there's like this moment where like you can just see my face where
Mhm.
I'm almost like, oh, this won't go well. As soon as
Aw.
I didn't want to do it slowly,
Yeah, right.
and I ended up doing it so fast. I like stabbed it in,
Oh no.
which is fine. Like it didn't hurt, but like
Yeah.
when you watch the video, it looks very dramatic.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I've only done the one, thankfully.
I gave all my shots to myself for all 3 surrogate pregnancies. And I would make like a circle with the permanent marker where I was supposed to inject. Then I would turn around, put either a piece of Hershey Kiss or a piece of chocolate in my mouth, because that was like my reward. And as I was giving the shot, the chocolate would melt. And so it was like I tried to fake myself into, oh, I'm getting a reward when I'm giving myself a shot. Yeah, no, right. But still, it was because I focused on the chocolate versus
Right. Versus
I turned around and looked in the mirror and did it backwards and just shot it in and then pushed the plunger down. Because no way in hell was I letting anybody give me a shot, especially my husband, because he didn't want me to do this in the first place. It would have been, God damn, like he would have just gone to town. So yeah, no. Nope.
My husband's heavy-handed, so I am.
Right?
But I just have my little belly shot,
Your
so
belly
mine was
shot.
like,
You don't have any big shots this time either coming up? Or you don't know?
I don't know yet.
Yes.
I gotta wait. I'm still waiting. So
What are the belly shots? Like what medication? I've never had a belly.
Lupron.
Okay. Is Lupron stops you from ovulating, right?
It suppresses
Yeah,
you,
it's
right?
what I was told is like it helps quiet your ovaries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shushes.
Yeah.
And they're super, super teeny. I could do those for like a year. Just give them.
diabetes.
Take belly
It's like
fat.
a
Yeah, diabetes takes needles like that. You're right.
Mhm.
Yep. Mhm.
So it's like this big.
This
I
is
don't
so
know.
tiny.
I posted my first video. I was freaking out. I was like, and then I stabbed myself. I was like, I did all that for nothing.
Right.
But
And
still
if you
good
take-
video.
If you take a little belly fat and kind of make it like a pooch and you just stick it in there, you can't really even feel it. Like you can't.
Yeah.
But the other
Well-
one's intramuscular. You have to get into a muscle and get
And
that
those
medication.
those are in the back. Like
Mhm.
those suck after a while because okay, so Rachel, you haven't experienced those yet. But Alicia, did you end up getting like golf ball knots? Because those are the worst. And then what sucks is that you have to keep stabbing it into the scar tissue. And it's like, okay, any day now is just like great to be done.
Yeah, I always see like in the groups, like surrogates will share after like their first injection. And they're like, wow, people make it sound so bad. Don't worry, everyone. It's fine. And I'm like, oh, no,
wait.
it's fine now. Like,
Yeah.
just wait.
Just wait. Oh,
I
Yeah.
would get that. And I had a very physical job
wow.
that would involve, like, I essentially hiked in the woods for a living.
Goodness,
Nice.
bless your
So
heart.
yeah, I worked for a nature program with kids.
How
But
cool.
anytime, and like, I don't know if you felt this, whenever you'd like exercise and stuff,
Oh.
you feel it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I still have numb spots.
Oh, okay. It's because you said yours ended in like your shots
Spring.
kind of ended in the spring, right?
Yeah.
So just
No, this was we ended our match in the spring. My last transfer was a year ago.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, because we were gonna try and transfer again this summer.
Oh,
But
Gosh.
because with my first transfer, I made it to 12 weeks. So I did like,
oh, you did the whole thing.
yeah, like my last shot was the night before we found out
Oh,
the pregnancy that we lost it. And then I did another 2 transfers. So that was like another
oh my gosh.
like 2 to 3 weeks of shots.
Yeah.
Did
And
you?
my last one was a chemical, and so I still took injections for 7 for 6 weeks. So
Wow.
like I think I've just had so much built up in my system.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you okay, so then question for you, like for you and for surrogates like you, like did you were you given time to give your body like a break of meds, or like were they back to back, and like how did you like feel physically, and like
I did 4 transfers and 2
Yeah.
pregnancies in 14 months.
What?
I
Oh my
had some
God.
time like after like my first transfer, it was like a miscarriage, and so I had to treat it with like medication, and then
Yeah.
that didn't work. Like I had an emergency DNC, and
Huh.
so like they gave me time after that, because after
Okay.
DNC they wanted my body to recover.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I had to do a cycle. Oh yeah, I did 5 transfer cycles. We did a cycle, but it got canceled. And then I did 2 transfers back to back.
Okay.
And then I really needed a break. And so I got, I think, how long did I take those? March. Next transfer was September.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I can't math right now. I think 5
Yeah.
months. So like I did get,
6
I
months.
got time when I wanted it.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So then how did because I know like with medications, like people, I was just talking to some girls today, and like migraines are a thing that like come up in these, and like nausea and dizziness and oh my, maybe fatigue, like a bunch of different ones. Would you say that did you have like extra symptoms because there was so much medication in your body?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like I'd always like get a period back in between. Like I think my
Yeah.
hormones would kind of level out, but I did I was taking 10 milligrams of estrace, which is quite high
Okay.
for like estrace. Like I would often like feel really nauseous, like I was sick a few times. Like I'm sensitive to the medications, but I
Okay.
don't think it was a buildup.
Okay.
And so like, when I did my natural cycle,
Yeah.
I was so happy.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, and my body reacted better to it. Like with the medicated ones, they were struggling to get my lining to thick enough.
Huh.
And with my natural cycle, it thickened right away in record time. I actually I just got my medical file from the clinic over the weekend,
Uh-huh.
and I was looking through and like, yeah.
That's
Oh wow,
interesting.
how crazy.
That's very
Sometimes our
interesting.
bodies just know what to do, and they're just
Right.
like, don't put things in me. I got
Right.
this. Like, it's all good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Rachel, did you experience any symptoms with anything that you were taking? Like, I don't even know.
Not that I know of.
No.
Only thing was I was getting a headache from the birth control.
Okay.
So that was the only thing that really like,
Huh.
because Lupron wasn't really, didn't
Nothing.
feel any. But shoot, I swear I did something to me after, because now I be getting headaches, and I never used to get headaches.
Oh.
And now I get them here and there. And I'm like,
Are they migraines or are they just headaches?
just headaches.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But yeah, so I was pretty good because I had the patches. The patches didn't really do anything. And then the suppositories didn't make me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just felt like I was peeing myself like all the
All the
time.
time.
But other than that, no, not really.
Rachel, I didn't catch like how far are you in your second journey? Like, do you know how far you are from transfer right now?
I'm still at medical clearance, so I still.
You got ways to go.
She's got medical clearance this week, so hopefully there's some
Right,
news
okay.
about
My
when
second
meds
medical
start.
clearance.
I know.
Really?
I hate that for you.
I've been on this journey for a cool minute, but that's a whole nother story. So
With the same couple?
No.
no,
Yeah.
different couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not the twin couple. I mean, the same couple. No. Okay. Got it.
No.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Understood. Understood. Okay.
Rachel and me
Oh.
kind of have similar stories for
Got you.
this.
For
For
this
this
last one.
journey.
Got you. Okay.
But
So-
speaking of injections, there is
Yeah.
a new thing that I've seen. Oh shoot, I forgot her name.
Oh.
On TikTok, not TikTok, but she bought this thing on Amazon, and it shoots you with the progesterone needle. So you just like put it on your skin and then it will inject it. But the only thing is you have to push the medication in. So if you don't like stabbing yourself, the machine will you just put it on yourself and just click, click, and then
then you have to push the medication. That's interesting.
I've seen auto injectors before.
Yes. Oh, Ambitious Family. I think that's her name. Ambitious Family. She's on TikTok.
On TikTok.
And she's on Instagram too. Ambitious Family. I think that's her name.
That's interesting. So you just like put the needle, like you set it all up in there in a sense.
Yeah.
And
then you load it in and then you stick it to your skin and then it just like
so it must know how deep to go. Yeah. And then
I'd rather just stab myself. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, me too.
I found the actual because the oil is so thick for the progesterone. Like I found pushing that in way harder than stabbing myself.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Oh my gosh, that's technical. There's so many things to keep in my head. Progesterone is PIO, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So somebody had said they gave this tip of advice: don't ice your butt before or after PIO. Use heat only.
Holy heat.
So yes, I just there could be people who are like, oh, it's so painful, I want to ice it. But like I was also told in my past journeys, like, oh, put it under your armpit for 10 minutes. Like before, like put like the
vial.
The vial. Yeah, put that under your armpit.
Yeah.
Wherever it's the most warm.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so the first time that I ever did an injection, like my husband did it, but we didn't know like what to do, so we didn't warm it up.
Okay.
So like the oil was very like
thick.
Cold. Yeah, it was super thick. And I could feel it spread in my muscle. And I remember I got this feeling like I'm not a queasy person. And I got so queasy, I almost fainted.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I felt like things started to go black. I could not take it. So it got so much better with time. But I since then I just always lie down to do it.
Okay. That makes sense.
Warming up the oil, like it makes such a difference. You don't have that like thick feeling of like this weird substance in your body.
And the plunger takes a long time to push when it's so thick. I remember doing yours.
Yes. Yeah. My mom did all mine and I stood up for all of them and I hugged the door and I was just like, just let's be done. Like, I don't want to be here. But with the PIO, I remember at one point, like it was really warm, but it felt, this might be weird, but like to me, it felt like really like thick, warm butter. Like, cause I could feel it at times go in and like just go through my body. And I was like, don't like this feeling. Like, ugh.
But to actually get nauseous and almost faint,
pass out, like that's, oh my god.
It was just entirely like, it was just a sensation I didn't know.
Yeah.
And that was the only time I reacted like that.
Okay.
Just my body freaking out to something new.
Yeah. And also like, how are we supposed to know as first time surrogates? They just say do this and that. And it's like, okay, but like I'm not a nurse. Like I don't know best protocol here. Like I'm doing my best, but they all know the tips and the tricks.
A little instruction sheet, don't they? I mean, I remember following yours.
They have like the X's and like
I got more.
Do this.
I got more than an instruction sheet.
Oh, did you get like a tutorial?
Oh, I did. So my husband, my fertility clinic, it was in Montreal, and I usually take the train, but like my husband had to be there to learn how to do the injection, so he came with me that time. And the nurse asked me to like pull down my jeans a little bit, so I did.
Okay.
And then she like pulls them down, and she like pulled my underwear down. She gets a Sharpie. And she like drew the diagram, but instead of circling the area where to do it, she drew X's everywhere he shouldn't do it in like dark purple Sharpie.
What? No!
And it was summer and like I wanted to go swimming. I had giant X marks on my butt.
Oh my god.
I remember like every day that week in the shower, I'm like trying to like scrub my butt cheek.
Oh my god. Oh my God.
Huh.
How backwards though to be like, don't, here's an X, don't go here.
Don't
Like
go
I would
here.
rather,
Well, I'll do where to go. It'll be
yeah,
a
like
lot
X
easier.
marks the spot. Like that's,
Yeah.
Leave my bum alone.
I
And I
know.
literally drew a circle because I didn't want to have to go into the X and potentially get some of
Right.
that dye inside. So I
Yeah.
drew a circle and I knew anywhere in the circle I could go. Tiny circles, but
And tip, like that's, I remember the clinics told me this, and also mom, you told me this, but switching sides every night, like
God, yes.
every night. And like there was a journey, maybe there was several journeys, but I just remember my last journey where like I had to do, I believe it was 1 a.m. and 2 p.m, or
Yes.
vice versa, something like that. And that was just a pain in the butt because it's like, okay, great, so 2 is going in on this side, but then so each day both were getting it. Like
Yeah. Just hurt.
just too much. Let's see.
Do you think most surrogates know about that they're gonna have to take so many, not necessarily injections, but just medications? They're gonna have to take medications if they're not involved in the surrogacy world and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna talk to this agency. Like it was news to me way back when that I had to do all this medication crap. I was like, what? I'm not just gonna follow my
Nowadays,
cycle.
yeah, I
Huh?
think nowadays, I think it's more, people are more showing what the journey is, and
Yeah.
like, hey, I got my meds. Oh, I'm boxing. Da 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 da. I think it's now they know,
Yeah.
but beforehand, I don't think it's like, I knew I had to take meds, but I wasn't like,
What kind? Which
didn't
one?
realizing like, because I really thought I was gonna have to take that shot,
Yeah.
but then
You
I
lucked
had
out.
to do it.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, then.
You're good.
So I was just like, okay, so it wasn't like as bad. And that's why I'm also like, don't compare to others, because your
Yeah.
clinic's going to be different. You are different. You
Yeah.
don't know what your body's going to be able to handle, or which, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So it's just like, just wait and see what happens.
It's a good point, because somebody else wrote in saying that they had lower dosages than other surrogates because some clinics they like, and Samantha was just on here last Friday Facts, and she was saying how they biopsied her, like what was it, like her
Her
uterus
lining.
or something,
Yeah.
or lining,
Her
and they
uterine
went
lining.
from that and they compared it to another surrogate who had just had a transfer, and they're like, oh, okay, so based off of her lining and where your lining's at now, these are going to be the dosages for you, which is interesting. Like it's great because then you're not over extending, over medicating and stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare surrogate versus surrogate because no uterus is the same and no clinic is the same.
And that's why a lot of them do the box cycle as well, so they can be like, okay, well, this is what, okay, this is what your body can handle, or this or that, the third, we can do this, this, and this, but you do have to go on medications for that box cycle. So you're kind of going on meds a little longer, per se. So.
Did either of you do a mock cycle? Me either.
We asked to do an ERA.
What's that?
An endometrial receptive.
Oh, okay.
Something. It's like a test that like says like your receptivity level, and I think that's like, isn't that kind of what a mock cycle is? Like you do the medication and then they biopsy, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think those are one of the tests that you can do. I know a surrogate, Leslie, just got her meds to do a mock cycle, so I've been asking her questions because I want to learn everything. I'm trying to learn everything I can, and mock cycles are not really talked about. I have not seen it, at least,
but I don't know anything that's entailed in a mock cycle. Like
no, it's kind of like, so you're doing your meds, and then when you go in, instead of having your transfer, they're going to take a piece of your
so
whatever.
I'm pretty sure it's like a mock cycle and like ERA. I think those are interchangeable because it sounds like the exact same thing where like they're doing the meds and then they're taking a biopsy to check.
Right.
But like I asked, my clinic refused to do it. They said they don't believe that it's backed up by science. Yeah, and I know like some Canadian clinics will do it. I don't think it's as common as in the US.
Okay.
But like my doctor refused because after our third transfer, we were kind of like, we want to do anything we can.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they wouldn't do it. And then after our fourth transfer, we switched clinics. And the new clinics they had the same opinion. They said they wouldn't do it.
Huh.
And then like we ended up not transferring anyways, so it didn't matter. But
still interesting.
Yeah.
yeah, I find it hard to find information on it.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, sometimes they'll do a mock cycle. Like if you're like on the older, I ain't saying y'all old, I ain't so old. I'm not saying old.
No.
But you know,
On the
the
higher
higher
range of age.
Yeah.
To
yes,
do
yes.
surrogacy. Yeah.
So that's why sometimes they do it just so
Okay.
To see what's
out, I
going
guess.
on.
But most clinics after like a third failed transfer or something,
Yeah.
and if the
Yeah.
embryos are tested, then they're like, okay, we about to do a mock cycle. But
Yeah.
Something.
We had
But-
extra testing. Like the embryos weren't tested.
Okay.
And like some didn't survive the thaw. But I had to do a repeat pregnancy loss blood panel, and they check like all the stuff in your blood to see if there is anything on that level and like certain cells that could affect things. And then I also did a hysteroscopy and I did a biopsy.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
After
So, like,
the third?
after the
or-
third. Yeah.
After the third.
And like
Okay.
everything came back clear.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But the embryos were not tested at all.
Right.
No, so like my intended parents, my intended mom had to get a hysterectomy for like reasons not directly related to infertility.
Okay. Yeah.
They didn't think they had fertility issues. She just couldn't carry because like as a result of something else.
Sure.
Yeah.
So based on their age, like it wasn't recommended.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's common in Canada. Like, I wonder if like testing embryos is like if that's, I don't know.
It is very common.
Okay.
It is. Okay.
Okay.
I do think there's more I think people are more open to untested than like what I see in the States, but
Yeah.
the majority test.
Okay.
I know in other countries they're like, oh, you can't find the gender out.
Oh, we
Would you-
can't. It's illegal.
Okay.
Wait, what?
See, yeah. See, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So I was like, that is very interesting.
Because then you could pick.
Why is that though?
Because you could pick boy or girl, right? Mhm.
That's it. They don't want people.
That's the only reason?
Well, because you're selectively I hate to say it, but in a sense, you're playing God. We want a boy, we want a girl. We're going to use the girl embryos or we're going to use the boy embryos. That's how my mind thinks about it. But
yeah, the only exception is if you have like a certain disease or syndrome that can be passed on to a certain gender.
right.
And like, you know, obviously like some, you know, you can't say like, well, I have a history of like, you know, bad cramps, so I'd like to have a boy instead, you know, like it's something like very
Like breast cancer or prostate cancer.
not even.
No.
No, like I think it's like there's like a select small list.
Yeah.
I think it's like things that are like you can't live a proper healthy life.
Yeah.
And is that why they don't test maybe? Because it's like you're kind of like choosing, because it's not like people choose, I want to have a baby with Down syndrome.
No, like people can still very much test. I think and like people often do test. I think I'm not really sure.
Interesting. But
But
gender
if they do
part,
test, they're not allowed to find out gender, right? In Canada.
Yeah, so you can absolutely test and like, you know,
Okay.
testing and stuff. Yeah.
That gender thing though, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's you're gonna be surprised. That's
I
nice.
thought it was wild when I found out that like the people already knew the gender of embryos they were getting transferred. And I was like,
Right.
what?
Yeah.
How?
But yeah, because here they know, like I've
Yeah.
had couples that are like, oh yeah, we have 6 girls and 1 boy, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. So what are we going with? Like, never in my mind would I think that would not be acceptable or like okay.
Yeah.
And way back when I did it, that was new.
Yeah.
So many people didn't do it. You just saw what the embryos looked like after like day 2 and were they going to be viable, and then they got to decide, okay, you got like 6 grade A and 4 grade B, so let's put the grade A's. That's how they did it. But now science is so phenomenal that to a T, man. You can just, whew.
It's impressive.
It's very impressive.
Science is impressive. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, well, when it comes back to the meds, then, like, are there any tips that you guys like learned, like maybe not even through yourself, just like through other people? Like,
I watched someone she said after every shot, she did like 50 squats just to help with the PIO shot. That's what her nurse told her. She said, do
50
some squats. Yeah, and get the booty cheeks moving, so it's like flowing so you don't get lumps, because
Yeah. Wow.
I would do that just to get fit. Like, that's a nice way.
right?
Routine built in, you just keep it going.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're just like, whatever, in the morning, here we go. 50 squats, nothing. Oh my gosh.
You're taking the meds. Do you even feel like doing 50 squats?
No.
Like, I remember taking them. I'm like, I
But
wanna
if
do
you're
that.
like, if it prevents me from getting lumps,
Yeah, not with
Yeah.
you.
squats.
Because okay, so you're saying they said that, right? And then Alicia, you said like you were hiking or whatever, and did you ever feel like you could feel them? So I wonder if the squats would actually
Makes
take
the muscle move, so it is going to distribute the medication.
Right, so
Yeah,
it's
it makes
not
a lot of sense.
going to have that little pressure in the back when you're walking.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
could see that.
I could see that. Maybe I'll try it.
If I get it, I'm gonna try it. I'll save the stuff, right?
You have to update
And
us.
if I don't work
Yeah.
out, at least I'll get a rounder booty.
No, you got it. That's right.
Perfect. It's a win-win.
Yeah. So, but
Oh
that's
my
the only thing. And then the heating up,
Mhm.
no ice.
Yeah. Like the
Uh,
And don't
heat
dread
pads.
it. You don't have to do chocolate, but don't dread it. Like if you have if you have some type of food that you really enjoy and you made a cake or whatever, you get to have like a small little slice of cake when you took your shot. Like it shouldn't be a negative. You shouldn't connotate it with a negative. I know it's not fun, but try and put something
Well,
positive. Oh, I'm gonna get my feet rubbed after this, or I'm gonna
I'm gonna get my
whatever.
booty rubbed after this.
yeah,
Rub it.
Yeah,
Massage.
my husband would
that's a good
often
one.
do
That is a good one.
Massage.
Then they one of the clinics had told me get one of those massage guns and go in at a light thing so that way it moves it, like, so move it around because that way it spreads it out and then you'll less likely to get lumps. I
always
don't know.
wondered what the massage gun really did. Like what it was for. That makes sense. So I was
Yeah.
like, are you just like beating the lump out of it?
Yeah.
No, they were saying like afterwards put it on like the lightest one.
Yeah.
Don't put a lot of pressure, obviously, because you just
Right.
got a shot there, but like you're just kind of moving it around like into your body, like massaging it in rather than using your hand or whatever, or like your your husband, boyfriend, whatever's hand.
It's a good idea. Mhm.
Yeah.
Whenever before I started, because I always saw people complaining about the shots, I was really worried that like they hurt a lot. And like for people, who haven't taken them yet and who are worried, like I think it's important to note the shot itself isn't bad.
Mhm.
Like you don't really feel the needle go in. It's more you get a dull ache like throughout the day. It's not a sharp pain. You're not gonna like cry or scream. It's more just you're gonna walk around, you're gonna be like, ugh, I can feel it.
Yeah.
So,
to
my
add-
encouragement.
Yes, and like to add on to that, like okay, like when you get your blood drawn, I don't like that feeling. Like that feeling is different than a shot feeling to me. Or when you get like the flu shot, or definitely the COVID shot, way different than the COVID shot. But like the flu shot, that hurts more to me than getting a PIO shot. Like that, like it's just because it's more so like just like a quick thing, and it's also in the back, so you can't see it. So like I think half of it is mental because when you go get that flu shot, it's like there's the needle, I can see it in my arm. Like,
Well, it's also this is more. They're both intramuscular, right? So a flu
Mhm.
shot, you just and a lot of times if you're a righty, they'll have you put it in your left arm, but we use our hands and our arms all day long.
Yeah.
So you're using that muscle after it just got something in there versus your glute. You could go sit down for a little while, or you're just using it more. So that's why I think these hurt more so than the glutes do. But it's the lumps because you're over and over and over and over again injecting. That's the problem. So if you can find little tips to get rid of or help distribute the medication, that's key. I think that's key.
Massage and squats. That's what I'm gonna do.
Love it.
I know,
Love it.
especially if you take that advice to have the piece of cake after each shot, you're gonna need to do the squats to
Get a
even
little piece of
that-
chocolate.
to
Little
even
piece of
that out.
chocolate. When I
Hold
was
on.
getting my shot. Getting my shot.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. But no, to Alicia, somebody else wrote in saying it was easier to give myself the injections than I had thought. It was like
Oh,
a
good.
mental
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
before
because
doing it.
I think the way people talk about it, like we dread it because it's kind of like this annoying thing that like you feel it's annoying more than anything.
Yeah.
But I do think it makes it sound really scary.
Yeah. Especially when everybody's like, oh, I have 8, well, I mean, gosh, how many? Like, it's definitely over like 200 shots that, surrogates are taking if they're taking all of the kind of shots. So that is an overwhelming number. And you're like, I'm sorry, you're doing how many shots a day? Like, this is, it becomes, I think at that point, like you're saying, it becomes a mental block.
I think the
also good.
takeaway for anyone listening should be that both you, like Kennedy and me, we both will beg for injections over the other options. It can't be that bad.
Great point. Because absolutely.
Really? That's so weird to me because if anything, I would not, the less injections I could take, the better.
So you would choose suppositories over injections?
100%. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So Alicia, why would you choose injections over suppositories?
Okay, so the main reason why I asked for it the first time, so because I worked in a forest.
Okay.
And so I didn't have access to running water or bathrooms. Like I just went and I found a nice quiet spot and I was one with the earth.
Wow.
And so I didn't want to like have to shove fingers up,
Yeah.
in
yeah,
like
for
the
sure.
woods. And especially I worked in the forest year round and I'm Canadian. Like I was also working outdoors in like -30 in winter.
Oh God.
With, like
No.
6 feet of snow. And so like it's just not, I can't be like taking off all my layers to shove things in places.
No.
It's like a whole production. It takes so long to get the snowsuit off. I'm not, no.
Dear God.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it just sounds messy.
Yeah. That's because suppositories don't hurt. They don't hurt. They're just.
Yeah, I've also heard like a lot of people like they're not comfortable being intimate when they're taking suppositories, which makes sense. And like I don't want to put things off limits if I don't need to.
Funny.
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's funny. Yeah, or I feel so. Rachel, I just feel so bad that you had to go deal with the ER with that incident. Like,
yes, it really like those long Q-tips going in there, pulling it out, and you don't know she's gonna pull it out until you see it, and then you're like, that's freaking just embarrassing.
Wow.
And it was because I was bleeding, so it was that and blood all
everywhere. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
would you ladies say that they're equivalent? Because maybe people don't really understand like how you put a suppository in and stuff, kind of like a tampon, yeah.
Tampon. Yep.
Yeah, because doesn't it come in like a wrapping like a tampon?
No, I have the little. I actually have the bottle. I have the pill.
You had
the little.
pills.
Well, with like I also just had a pill with my mysteries, and I just put a finger.
Put it up there.
I think that's how it does come.
Did either of you have like estrase suppositories?
Estrogen, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
My first one, I had that.
Okay, no one had warned me. For anyone listening, because it's like the little green pills, right?
See, and I had like a tube that you literally just like almost like you have a yeast infection and you're like pushing all the cream up. That's my suppositories, but that's a long time ago.
I had these little blue-green pills, and for the entire duration of taking that medication, it changes, like you just have like blue-green discharge.
Colors, yes.
Yeah. And I remember I remember I wasn't prepared for that.
Oh my God.
I was so confused. I was like, is something very wrong?
Oh,
leaking out the rainbow.
Oh my
I
gosh.
know. Yes.
Oh my
gosh.
Those rainbow
I-
babies.
I can't remember if they were a different color. I just remembered like the ones that I had, I think they were, well, now I don't know. Maybe this might have been the progesterone ones. They were like the thick horse pill, white colored pills.
Mine are teeny tiny.
No,
Okay.
those are probably progesterone because I had
Progesterone.
well, mine weren't like horse size, but they were pretty.
Oh, they were so
Big.
thick. They were so
Yeah.
good.
So,
Yeah.
and people are like, "Oh, you only do it once a day." I was like, "No, I got to do it twice. I have to do it in the morning and at night." So
Interesting.
that was
Yeah.
even worse.
Yeah, when they tried to give me the suppositories, it was going to be 3 times a day.
3?
Yeah, like at a low dose.
Just
Oh,
give
But
me
then
okay.
I would have had to take 2 at work with the timing they wanted me to take
yeah.
it. And no,
No.
we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But weren't you like on suppository and the shots as well?
Oh, I meant for the progesterone.
Oh,
I still had the suppositories like for the estrus, but
Okay.
the
Okay.
timing, like I could take one before work, one after work, and then one at bedtime.
Okay.
So that wasn't an issue. But with the progesterone, the specific times
We're
weren't.
doing work. Huh.
So I
Yeah,
just
I
want to make
wasn't.
I just want to make it clear. So then if you had the estrase, right, for the suppositories, then you weren't also taking estrogen shots?
No, I've never had an estrogen shot.
Okay.
I only took the suppositories at night. So I took the pill orally 3 times a day.
Okay.
And at bedtime, I took 2 as a suppository.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, every clinic, man.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
different.
and it made me really nauseous. So like I had to
Oh.
start taking it with food.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like it got better after a week or 2. Made me
Yeah.
very sad. So
Oh, like
I would cry a lot.
Oh.
I knew it was
many
the meds though,
hormones.
so it was okay.
Oh.
Good thing.
Oh. So many hormones.
Yeah, a weepy
That's a-
gal.
But that's a good point. People don't realize it's a lot of hormones that are putting in your body. So you're gonna go all over the place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna say something, you're just gonna cry, or somebody's gonna say something. Yeah, it's a lot.
Mhm.
Oh.
Somebody did write in and say that it made me very moody, and me and my husband, we weren't prepared for that. We just
Yeah.
thought like when I got pregnant, maybe it would be
Right.
the thing. But yeah. Mhm.
It can make you
Intense.
grouchy. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
I was
But
never in a bad mood, but like, like if I would drop my sock, I'd get teary.
Oh.
I'm
Wow.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but overwhelming. It's a lot.
Yes, yeah.
It's a lot.
I think people who make all the negative comments about surrogates need to listen to these types of podcasts that we're doing. These types to figure out what we all go through.
Yeah.
What the woman is putting her body through, what she has to do daily. Like it's a lot.
Mhm.
And that
Do
it's
it.
voluntary. We can walk away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand that. Like obviously surrogacy is not equal. And I think people, they hear this horror stories from overseas and they're like, well, it's all the same.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, surrogacy is not really portrayed in like a positive light. Like every show that you watch or movie that you watch, it's very dramatic and like
Yes.
very, very Lifetime movie-esque. And it's like, this is not how it works. Like that's not true at all. So yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that about covers all of the stuff.
Did we
Well,
hit all
let me
your
just say,
questions?
the estradiol needle looks scary.
Which one?
The
Estradiol?
estradiol needle.
What's it
I
look
don't know.
like?
Like, I don't know if it's like pre-packaged, but I don't know. I think I've seen someone use it, and it looks scary to me. Scarier than the freaking PIO shot.
Well, you're kidding.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. Like, look good. Google it real
I
quick
am.
because I'm pretty sure it looks. Because I'm pretty sure it's like I don't know. I think it just looks weird to me. I think it's small, right? Am I not mistaken? I don't remember.
The
I think
estradiol
it's smaller than the progesterone.
is supposed to be.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it just looks. I don't know why it looks extra scary to me.
You're talking about the needle, not the vial, right?
Yeah, I'm talking like the syringe that they. Maybe that's not it.
No?
I'll have to look. I'll have to look it up because I think it has like a green. I don't know if it has a green thing on it. Oh,
The
or
one
maybe
that pulls
it has a-
the one that pulls it out is a little scarier than the one that goes in your body.
Well, so like this, so the pink one, oh gosh, if I'm not wrong, I think the pink one is the thing to pull them out. And like the
Yeah.
gray tips are to shoot you.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. Don't
Yeah, I
quote-
think I don't know. The
I don't know.
numbers that is the higher number is bigger.
No, lower number's bigger.
Lower number is the bigger needle, and then the higher number is the one you want to use, which is freaking confusing as heck. Like,
I
why?
like it. Wait, but Rachel, I saw that you had posted something. I swore you had posted something a while back though about like something box, bee box for a bunch of surrogates use them. Do you know what I'm talking about, Alicia? Like the medication boxes.
Oh yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's it called?
Hold on, let me get it.
Okay.
What's it
Yeah.
for?
No, these boxes are super cool because they're kind of she's gonna show you. They're kind of like
so-
these work boxes, like tool or like first aid kit
Oh,
boxes. There you go.
Okay. There you
Where's the
go.
word?
You have your
Oh.
focus on differently. That's why.
But it says toolbox.
So
So
told you, yeah.
It's just like to organize all of your meds and stuff.
Yeah.
and this is cheaper than the freaking
Thing on Amazon.
vitro box or whatever. No offense to all that use a vitro box. I'm just saying I cannot cheapy, but I like green. So and then you just open it up and it got all your
Yeah.
stuff. Oh my god.
You're good.
Wait,
But it's got compartments and stuff.
So
It looks like when you go fishing, like a tackle box.
Yeah.
That would have
And they
been
come-
helpful, Kennedy.
they come in blue, pink, and green, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Mhm.
Yeah.
But
So-
everybody uses those or those Virtro box things or
Virtro.
something. But
Whatever.
yeah.
It's a great
So-
idea. Keep all your stuff together. We used we had them in bags. We just throw them in the. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Kennedy,
I got like
when I gave Kennedy her shots, we got them out of bags.
no, well, the first one, but then I got nifty and I got those little compartment spinner things for
Right.
makeup.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I just
put it
used
in
the
there.
makeup thing. I was like, there we
Okay.
go.
Okay. I like that.
But-
I like the
But-
other ideas. That's
Yeah.
cute.
I purchased the pill organizer, like the weekly one.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Every
Yes.
day it had 4 compartments. Because I also had to take Medrol and antibiotics.
Right.
And I couldn't take prenatal vitamins. They made me throw up.
Ooh.
So my nurse, it's the iron in it.
Ah.
So my nurse just told me to instead take you can get iron supplements broken down into heme already, and it's just easier on your stomach. So she told me to take that, folic acid, folate,
Uh-huh.
and then
Folic
vitamin.
acid.
Yeah.
There's which is funny that you mentioned that because my clinic says I need to take the other folic acid that absorbs in your body quicker, melamehylated something. There's 2 types of folic acid. So they wanted me to take that one. And that
Okay.
one's hard to find
Oh.
Oh.
because it ain't I went to my Walmart, it wasn't there. So I had to order the freaking Ritual, and them things is expensive. But I'm gonna do it. But if you, I don't know, sometimes your clinic says to take a certain folic acid. So
Mine
They
was
should be-
prescribed, so I
They
just
should be
got it. from the
providing it
pharmacy.
to you. Sorry.
no, because it's I guess because we haven't done contracts yet. We haven't done contracts yet or anything like that. So I think that's probably why. But
Huh.
No. They should pay for it if it's expensive. Sorry.
I want you to take it.
Are you
They should
getting-
pay for it.
Yeah, are you getting reimbursed for that, or is that out of pocket?
I have no idea actually.
I would
So
submit it. Once you sign contracts, I would
Yeah,
submit.
it.
yeah.
That's not
So it's I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't even know there was 2 different types of
Folic acid. Yeah.
So I was just
I
like,
can't
what?
remember. Yeah, I can never remember which one you're supposed to take, but my clinic just gives it to me, so I don't need to worry.
There you go. the way it should be.
That's nice. So then you don't have to worry about what's what or which one you have to get.
Well,
So
Canadian healthcare and American healthcare are 2 vastly different things.
Yeah, I've heard.
for real.
Thank you,
Thank
ladies, so
Thank you, guys.
much.
So much taking
It
your
was-
time.
yes.
Very, very appreciative. So thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime.
Oh.
It was lovely meeting you, Alicia.
Yes. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. Bye.
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 Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, what another wonderful duo of people to talk to. Okay, so this is going a little bit long. So if anybody has any questions or tips and advice about medications or things that we left out or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me at Stop.Sit.Surrogate on Instagram. And this has been another episode of Friday Facts with Kennedy and Ellen. Bye, you guys.
Bye, everyone.